Hello and welcome to the Automation Beam Championship Season 11 Round 3 video. This round was all about saving people's lives with your perfect in every way ambulances. Good, strong engines, room for saving people and a livery that makes people look. That doesn't sound that hard, right? The Avalon and Abbott Motor Company Sonora Ambulance is the perfect ambulance to come and rescue you when you're stuck in the forest in the game Cyberpunk 2077. Your hydraulic leg has been caught in the bear trap and the oil is making the cliffside on which the bear trap is set slippery. But not to worry, the car with the most grill per car ratio is here to save you. Next we have the Basework Traffic PJambulance.obg. The perfect ambulance for when you are a dog and your bone is lost in the garden and you cannot find it, so you call the ambulance for some reason and then they arrive and there's a giant cursor floating around in your garden because you live in the world of Paw Patrol. And this is the Freestyle Aces Design Division Syntax Vampire, the perfect ambulance for when you want to be taken to the hospital by a vehicle that looks like the Nissan Figaro and a storage unit had a baby and that baby was dipped in banana sorbet. It also looks like a bread from the rear. Now, this is the Moravian Motorworks Helena 23E, the perfect ambulance for someone who wants to get picked up by an ambulance, which is just a white van with boarded up windows, and you have no idea if you're going to a hospital or there is going to be a man named Yusuf who's going to ask you which of your kidneys you like the least. Also, it scored first place in automation rating, second place in lap time, and a third place in aesthetics. So well done. Next we got the Pipo Ambulance, the perfect ambulance from when you've had a terrible accident and are in desperate need of medical help, and you call an ambulance and they say, we'll be there in 10 minutes, and you're like, oh yes, I'm gonna be saved, and then they arrive and they just take your car and leave. This is the Pizza Incident Tribute with the Crownston Town Hauler Pizza Lance Open. The perfect ambulance for when you've been stabbed in the eye, but it's okay because your town has an ambulance/pizza delivery service, so you can be saved and have a steaming slice of pepperoni at the same time. Healthy and delicious. These guys scored a third place in lap time and a third place in automation rating as well, by the way.
Hello, Microsoft Text-to-Speech support here. This is SEAL Racing with the Houston Japanese firing practice. The perfect ambulance for when you've been shot at by a Japanese firing squad and want an ambulance that can really relate to you, so it can offer mental support. It'll take a while for that support to arrive though, because they got the slowest lap time.
Now we've got the Team Van 33, the perfect vanbulance for when you want to be saved by an unknown English man in what is basically an American pickup truck with a cube glued to the bed and some lorry mirrors bolted to the door, but you're okay because the soothing hands of John Vanway are healing you. Team Van did it again and won the aesthetics challenge. They always lose, almost all of the time, because vans usually don't fit the round, but this time they're victorious. And here we have the Pancake Stack Source Dorayaki Emergency Life Saving, the perfect ambulance for when you want to be rescued by a regular Toyota van with a rounded off rectangle on the back and 12,972 lights on the front and a bad English translation on the side. And lastly we have the KFC Racing Mendevan, the perfect ambulance for when you actually want to be saved. This is namely the first place in lap time, and it also scored a second place in looks and in the automation rating category. It also is the perfect ambulance for someone that wants to design an ambulance but just buys a van and then continues to spend 47 hours on designing the shape of the roof. Enjoy the rest of this lap. And now we start with the aesthetics results of this round. In first place is John Vanway for Team Van, who scored a staggering 14 places higher than he did previous round. Second, with about half a point difference, is Frederik Lenius for KFC Racing, and in third is Citessafon for Moravian Motorworks. Roman is the last, with 7 or higher in fourth place, and I am in fifth place with the only 6. In sixth place is Wongsle, followed by Siu in 7, who scored a perfect 5. 8th is for Hangman Official, and 9th is for Mikon, and the last one in the top 10 is Commando Narwhal. There are only 10 entries, so everyone will be in the top 10. Congratulations. For the Designers Championship, this means the following. The top 5 is still the same, with Frederik Lenius in first, Roman in second, me in third, Citessafon in fourth, and Mikon in place number 5. John Vanway is the first newcomer who jumped up 7 places in this competition and now resides on 6th place. 7th is for Wongsle, who also jumped up spots, this times 2. Hangman is still in 8th place, and Waffle dropped down 4 spots to 9th. Commando Narwhal helped keep the gate of the top 10 closed at 10th place, and the biggest dropper is Clark. He dropped down 5 spots to 12th, and is still for Merja. That sentence went wrong, but I can't be bothered to record it again. In the automation rating results, we have Citessafon again in first place, and this time it's Kenshiro in second, who overtook both Jums and Speeding Red, who are now on third and fourth respectively. A good job for RX7, who scored 5th place instead of 9th previous round. Smons is in 6th and John Vanway is in 7th. Again, 8th and 9th are for Commando Narwhal and Seal, and 10th is for Les Fier USA or La Fier USA? I don't know. This means that in the Automation Rating Championship, Citessafon is still in first and Cotton is still in second. Jams is now no longer in second, but he is in third. Smons is still in fourth, and Speeding Red jumped up a spot to get into 5th place. John Vanway kept his 6th spot, while RX7 jumped up a spot to reach 7th place overall. Waffle did not enter, so he dropped 4 spots to 8th place, and Commando Narwhal is almost overtaking him in 9th. 10th is for Clark, who dropped 2 spots, and the biggest jump award goes to Lefier USA, which is probably wrong, and he jumped up 6 places and is now in 12th. Merja, however, is still in last. Now, the speediest one in this round was Kenshiro for KFC Racing, who was just a tiny little smidge in front of Critical Set for Moravian Motorworks in second place. Very close behind them was Deltas for PYT, and Smons is in fourth place and has scored 4 places better than previous round, so well done. Speeding Red is in 5th place, and John Vanway, despite the fact that he only drives vans, is in 6th place. RX7 is in 7th, fitting. And in 8th is Commander Narwhal, 9th is for Nathan, and 10th is for
Golisopod, driving for Seal Racing.
This means that Critical Set is still in a relatively comfortable first place in the Drivers' Championship. Kenshiro is now in second and switched places with Deltas, who is now in third. Speeding Red and John Vanway stayed in their lane and are both still in 4th and 5th respectively. 6th is for RX7, who lost a spot, and 7th is for Smons, who rose 3. In 8, 9 and 10 are Sir Waffle, Clark and Commando Narwhal, and I am in last place. And the round's final results are the following. The first place is KFC Racing with 54 points. They're very closely followed by Moravian Motorworks with only 2 points less. Almost 10 points behind them is Team Van in third, who scored 6 points higher than previous round. 6 places higher, I mean. PRT and TPSS are both tied in 4th place for this round, and Baseworks is in 7th. No, he's in 6th. 7th is for Fad, and 8th is for Avalon and Abbott. 9 and 10 are for Pipo and Seal. The top 5 for the Constructors' Championship is still the same, but teams are closing in on one another. The top 5 is the following. Moravian Motorworks is in first, KFC Racing in second, Pitt in third, Baseworks in fourth, TPSS, the Pancake Stackers, in 5th place. Fad jumped up a position to 6th place, and Team Van jumped up 2 positions to 7th. Waffle Motors dropped down those 3 places and ended up in 8th, and Pipo is in 9th with a 2-spot gain. Clockwork is in 10th place with a 2-point loss. Merger Cars Autobeam team is still in last. There is a graph that you normally see on movie screens. And there is a graph that makes me think of all the round results. There is a graph that makes me cry, that makes me lose my mind. And that graph is here right now. And this was that for this savior of a round. My name is Daan and this is the Automation Beam Championship, which was started by Nev, hosted by the host, and sponsored by the David Bowie album Hunky Dory. See you next time.